I'm choosing peace over people. Peace and love, family, friends, naysayers, whomever. My name is Leon Wheeler Jr., and this is Master Making Emotion, where I'm learning how to master myself, and I'm teaching it while I learn it. Today we're going to talk about something I'm going through, I struggle with all the time throughout my life, and that's today, for the most part, how I'm turning my pain into power. I realize, without a doubt, growing up, I got the game wrong. Most of us did. And I also believe it was by design. I'm a staunch believer in that. I think that society, wanted to create some sheep, and it done just that. That's how you keep the economy the way it is. How rich people stay rich. You program people to move and act a certain way, and you got some droids, and they just do what they do. But it's in our spirit. I believe it's in our spirit. The black man and woman, the world, overall. I don't think it's just indicative to us, but I speak to us because this is, for the most part, because this is who I deal with. This is who I'm. That's my community. That's my. Those are the people I relate to. So I speak to us, and I believe that we've been duped twice for the most part. Uh, that's neither here nor there. How many times we've been duped? Duped is being duped. Well, I think we got the game wrong. I know we did. I know I've done. I've gotten the game wrong. I know as a kid, I was before they start force feeding me the dictates of the world. I just wanted to be free. I just wanted to embrace the world and just live. And they start telling you what to do and what not to do. All these rules, all these rules and regulations, and these rules and regulations was set down to again dummy us down. They didn't want the spirit of the giant, the gods, to come out to emerge. So they dummied us down. Our parents was taught to dummy us down because their parents taught them to dummy us down, to dummy them down, and it's the cycle, and it goes all the way back to when we first came over here. I don't believe that we were like that in the motherland before, I guess, evil, the concept of evil, or the separation or the greed for wanting to control the resources. Until all of that came about, I just think that the world probably was a lot better. And as we evolved, our greed and our desire to control evolved. And they duped us. We've been duped. So they beat it out of us. They did everything they could to get it out of us. They beat it out of us. They strangled us. They chokehold. I mean, they did it all. Whatever you can possibly think of, a way of controlling the mindset of a person or people. Uh, that's what happened. That's what they did. And we perpetuated because we teach those same foul teachings because it's a part of our psyche. So we don't mean to teach it to our children. We don't mean to teach them to be docile, to be like sheep, but we do because we got lion spirits, and that's a crutch. That's a crutch. All my life, I've been suffering in pain, and basically in silence, but without understanding. And awareness is the key to whatever you're dealing with. You have to be aware of, in order for you to change a condition or change the situation. You have to be aware that a situation actually exists. So if you don't see it, you can't. If you don't understand it, I mean, there's no way that you can attack it. So I've been suffering all my life. I've been dealing with pain all my life, and the pain that I was dealing with, it always gave me the. It always inspired me to want to clap back. But unfortunately, in most cases, it was then done without having any real recollection. It wasn't with no good. It was all with ill intent. And if you're moving from an ill intent, that's already, again, that's another poison on top of the poison that's already been created inside of you. So you poison because you've been stripped of who you are, who we are, and then on top of that, we're trying to deal with it with another poison that I guess destroys the system, and that's anger, frustration, and that's how I deal with everything, and it was that keeps you from being able to actually see the true way of coming out of that pitfall, coming out of that murky, dusty, trifling mindset or existence. So anger is a cloud. You know what I'm saying? However, just like pain, you can change it. You can take. I mean, there's a flip side to every. There's two sides to every coin. But you got to be aware. So all my life, I feel that I've been shortchanged because the teachings that I embraced, that I was taught, told me to love and go out my way to take care of my family and my friends and my community. And I really believe that that's a good thing, because I love my people. I love us. But at what expense? At the expense of my peace? I mean, I never, like I said, I think I said, well, I know I said prior that I'm sure I never experienced peace, not in its true essence. So I never knew what it really was. I mean, I heard of it, I understood the terminology, but I never experienced peace. So that's why I said today I choose peace over people, because the people that I've been dealing with, unfortunately, a lot of time, my family, my friends, you know, we've we've been created. They turned into us. They would put something inside of us that we're not operating from our true essence. We don't know who we are, so we use the same tactics that the oppressors, those people who manipulates the world to control it for their financial benefits and their political benefits, whatever benefits that we use those same tactics on one another. And how could we not? That's what we know. They lock us up for being for thieves. I mean, but they were the greatest thieves. They stole human beings. They lock us up for, and I'm speaking about black people now, for selling drugs and things of that nature. But those are the biggest exploiters of drugs. They the ones that go over there and snatch those resources out of the earth. And I mean, these are the people that benefit from everything that's considered to be bad in this world for their own personal gains. And they taught that to me. So now here it is, I'm trying to work with a people whom I love dearly, who have self-hate, who don't like themselves, as well as me. I'm dealing with the same thing. So we're trying to help each other, but we're all sick. And we're sick because we're still taking the same medicine. I said the power is in the pain. So if you can turn your pain into your suffering, your ills, your being intolerant, your wounds, if you can turn that into power, then you can. And I've done it back then. I just didn't have any no guidance. I didn't know how to really put it in its proper place. But today I am. So I embrace. I suffered my whole life. Well, from at least my 20s until today, with pain. I've been shot all the way up. I've been shot on 3 different occasions with 9 holes in my body, and that pain that I went through from being shot in my legs and all that, I've never had anything to substitute that pain. I had never. There was no medicine. I didn't take drugs to kill the pain or nullify the pain. I didn't do that. I suffered with that pain. And after a while, it became normal. So I've been suffering with pain all my life and dealing with it, but not in a constructive way. I've been dealing with it And now I'm going to talk about the pain that I'm going to talk about is really more of emotional pain than I'm really talking about. But pain is pain. But you have to take that pain and turn it into your power, your superpower, because it's in this. It's just like the cure is in the poison. It's there. You know, so you can't just you can't be a gluttony to the poison. You can't just swallow it all down at once. You got to take it in small doses, and you figure it out. You say, well, this is what I'm going to do. And that's what I'm doing. I'm building myself today, and I'm looking at everything I've been through constantly, and getting better at putting it in this proper perspective. Because I got to win. At this time in my life, I'm in the third quarter. My mind is made up. Never again will I become a victim to anything or anybody. I'm going to take all my experiences and I'm going to do as best I can to put them under the magnifying glass and see the possible leeches or whatever you want to call them, and I'm gonna move them out, all of the bad stuff, and I'm gonna move it out, and I'm replacing it with a whole new mindset, new rules, you know, and I'm committed and I'm dedicated. So today I'm taking all my pain and I'm making it my power. You know, and I realize one of the key things that I have to separate myself from a lot of people. Because if I don't, I find myself falling back in the same traps. Because I am a creature of habit, just like everyone else. Everything that I believe, everything that I know today has it hasn't took full root because that other stuff was, you know, so heavily fortified, you know, that it's I go back and forth, you know, and it's not important. It's not intentionally because I know what I need to do. Most people show you who they are all the time, and because of the way I was raised, you give people the benefit of the doubt. And when you do that over and over and over, they burn you because that's who they are. I mean, until they do what you planning on doing or what I'm doing, until you go into the work, and individuals get serious about the work, you have to deal with them based on what they've shown you, and you can't let them become a parasite. That's what I was looking the word parasite. You can't. You got to get the parasite. That you can't let them be bloodsuckers. And that's not going to happen to me no more. I'm told I embrace the pain, and the pain has given me the power to realize that I have a mission to fulfill. You know, I'm not going to say necessarily a destiny, but definitely a mission. You know, I'm not caught up on titles or none of that stuff right now. I'm caught up on being the best human being that I can be for me. And that's not an easy task, again, because I've been bombarded with a bunch of garbage information. And I know it's garbage. I know it's garbage. I look at everybody and I can see how we are operating. I see how we operate. I see it in all of our faces. And I feel it inside of myself. I feel the fight, the war that's going on inside of me that's seeking to free itself. I see, and and again, it's not easy, but I understand one thing. Be the thing you want to see, and then you do it. So I constantly give myself that self-talk, and I'm telling myself over and over and over that that I'm striving to be what I want to see. And what is that? A master. A master in me. I've been mastered. And anytime I give anybody else the power to play with my emotions, to get me off my square, to make me feel that I'm upset or these are different ways of keeping us in the trenches at the bottom of the barrel. I'm done with that. And I invite you to join me. I mean, because master making in motion is about elevation. It's about it's inspiration. And I'm as expired. I'm aspired, excuse me, to be the best that I can be. And I invite you to come on. You know, I see who you are. I know who you are. So when we talk, and it's going, you can't hide it. And then if I see something that's not beneficial to the cause, to my cause of me being the best that I can be, I'm not going to let you come in here and cause me any chaos. I'm cutting people off. You know, and I suggest that you do me the favor, cut me off. You know, because they say something about a season that people come and they meet and greet. You know, if you showed me who you are, I'm never ever ever going again. Excuse me. I'm never going. Never ever going to act like I don't see what actually exists. What you show me is what I see, and I accept what you've shown me. My peace is my power, and I choose my peace over people. I choose it over you. If you bring some hoopla garbage into my cipher, I don't have no room for that. Life is too short, and I've grown to a certain point in my life that and I wish I could have did this a long time ago. And I say this to the young brothers: if you can figure this out today, while you young, your life will be a whole lot better. Make yourself your priority. Let your peace be your power. Focus on doing what you need to do for you, and tomorrow your life, things will be. I mean, you got the game wrong, so tap in. Tap in. See what I'm working on this. I'm doing this for me, and I'm sharing it with you because I love us. This is love talk. This is master making the motion. This is me becoming a master of me. And if you're on a similar journey, you're welcome. Holler at me. Walk with me. Talk with me. Let's just simply be.